Monday we had thunder and lightning, and it took out our 5th internet box in 9 months. And yesterday we had hail, and yeah, it was bouncing off the concrete. And I don't know if you can see now all these cluster flies, and they are really coming out of hiding. I've got to take this window frame out, and it is rather fragile. So yeah, that's the job for today. As you can probably see, there's not a lot holding this on now. You can probably see why the wind just sort of like grabbed it and blew it off. That 2 nails. This is the remains of the window seat in front of the window I've just replaced. And I don't know if you can see some of these woodworm holes, but some of them are 5mm across, and you can see the woodworm actually inside the holes with the wings and the beetle still intact. I mean, wow. Some of them are still alive. So yeah, it was quite timely that I replaced that. I mean, yeah, you can break this up with your fingers. It's just like balsa wood. I imagine this was probably chestnut or oak. It's quite a red wood, so I imagine it was actually chestnut. So yeah, it was very timely that I replaced this. Yeah, it has absolutely had it. Yeah, riddled with woodworm. Well, that definitely looks a lot better for clearing that lot up, and as you can imagine, We get every sort of critter up here. We get lizards, we get rats, we get pine martins, and they'd all left their droppings, so it smells a lot better as well. All the damp has gone, so yeah, all we got to do now is put a bit of xylophene on the wood, and then we can screw the window frame in. The window I made in the last video is now completely in, and well, it saved us several £1,000s. When we were in England, we had a couple of quotes. One of them was £3,750, and this one has cost us, well, less than £100, that's for sure, because the glass for 2 windows was £135, and I think the oak is probably about, I don't know, £50 worth of oak. So yeah, and the window seat, well, that was just a bit of scrap wood we had lying around. So yeah, it's hardly cost anything at all, really. The reason why the window has to be a specific height is we're reusing these chrome locks, and they only extend a couple of millimeters out the top. So if you're not like dead precise, because there has to be a slight gap above the window, they just aren't going to meet their lock. So yeah, there you go. Comes down to your twisty handle here. In England, these are a very common type of hinge. You know, you get them on windows, doors, etc., etc. But in France, you get these lift-off type hinges, and you can basically lift your door or your window off with these type of hinges, but they come right or left-handed. So the part that goes on your door frame has got a peg on it. Don't know if you can see here. Here's a very old one, and the part with the peg goes on the frame typically, and that's so you can basically lift your window or your door off of the peg much more easily. And the part with your window or your door has got a hole in it. So there, this is actually a left hand one. Actually, this is for the window part, and this is the wrong way round for the one I've just shown you. So the two mount together a bit like so. There you go, and that will drop on if I can get it together, which I can't, but there you go, and they mount together. So when you order your hinges, you've got to make sure you get a gauche or a droid, right or left. And yeah, I've mounted mine quite lazily, basically on top, and you can mount them into the recess, or you can mount them on top, etc., etc. You can basically do them however you like. Yeah, but you got to make sure you get right or left hand. I thought I'd come up to the barn to see what our window looks like from up here. It's not looking too bad, is it? When the lightning hit the roof the other day, it probably hit one of the 2 metal spikes on top of the windows, and it also did some more damage. I don't know if it's going to focus on that, but this is one of our RCDs. It completely knackered the switch on that. Look at that. Yeah, completely knackered. It no longer stays up, so we had to go shopping for one of those as well.
Wood chip. Because why wouldn't you wallpaper your door with wood chip? This could take a while.
A long while, really long while. How's it coming up?
Nice, you can see where they've used the filler before.
Yeah, the whole door's bent, isn't it?
Yeah.
And warped. We have used paint strip on these doors before, but the paint is something special.
Very. So yeah, it's a nice day, so I'm quite happy just stood out here.
Yeah.
I'm not wearing a mask either, but the breeze is sort of coming this way behind me, so.
We're on the back end of Storm Catherine, which has brought thunder and lightning, hail, gale force winds.
And now beautiful sunshine.
Yeah, and probably something different by lunch.
Yeah.
So
yeah, if it starts raining, I'll give you a shout, but we should be all right.
Yeah. We're kind of having second thoughts about the door because it's been a real pest to sand, isn't it? It's kicking up a bit of fuss, isn't it?
Doesn't want to come off this paint.
No, it really doesn't want to come off, does it? It's kicking up a bit of a fuss, isn't it?
I kind of like the finish.
Yeah. And we're going for a bit of a French chic finish in the room, aren't we?
I think if I just do the outsides,
yeah,
and then we'll leave the middle like that. Actually,
so that's option.
The middle bit there.
Option B, isn't it? It's just.
I think that's option A now.
Yeah, it's becoming option A, isn't it? Because
I'm running out of sanding pads.
Yeah. Yeah. So unless we put in an order for more sanding pads, option B is. Quickly becoming option A.
Yeah, I think it'll look quite nice as well because the bedroom, as we're planning it at the moment, is going to be sort of like blues and whites.
And there is quite a lot of blues, greens, and that under the pinks and creams.
Yeah, there's a cream with a blue, and then you've got the brown coming, the wood coming through. So I think that'll look quite nice actually, but
yeah,
time will tell. Like I say, we'll take the rest of it off the edges here.
Yes.
The middle bit here a little bit, so it'll look like this.
Yeah.
And then I think that'll look quite nice.
Yeah. Because whoever painted it originally wasn't very good at painting, but once you've sanded off the terrible paint sort of to a nice smoother paint, it's actually not too.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to say shabby, but that's that's the desired effect, isn't it?
Yeah. So, like I say, we'll suck it and see.
Yeah, but
worst that can happen is we just paint over it.
Yeah. Well, that's one of the reasons why we were sanding it back is because when we painted the bathroom door, the paint didn't take.
Didn't take to the
paint.
Paint didn't take to the paint. Yeah, I don't know what they used to use, but it just doesn't like anything sticking to it.
No, we almost had to apply like a PVA sort of undercoat.
Still got to strip the door and the door frame.
Yeah.
In the bathroom again.
Yeah. We'll see.
We'll see.
I don't know if you can see, but this door is well and truly bowed. I can stick my little finger right underneath there. So yeah, and as you can see, it bends up and down. Yeah, it's well and truly bowed and well cracked in the middle. And when it was mounted in the door frame, they used to have a little bolt at the top to stop people peering in. So yeah, it needs fixing. So we got to put a whole load of glue and screws in the middle just to stop it sort of like from bending and falling in, really. This is a sort of bolt or latch that they used to use to hold the top half of the door shut so people couldn't used to pry in. And down here, I don't know if you can see, but the hinge has literally pulled out of the door frame. That's where people were, trying to bend the door.
Well, there he is. He's rectified my mess on the ceiling. However,
I've still got to rectify a little bit more. I've got to rectify the edges.
Thank you. I hate plastering on the ceiling.
Yeah, I've got to let my shoulder recover a little bit more.
The floor, you can't tell really, but the floor is absolutely splattered. And then I caught sight of he who must not be named. Oh my God.
Yeah. I'm tired. I can't move one shoulder at all, and the other one's rather poorly.
Oh my God, shall I go and bring you a bath?
Yes. Yes, please.
Oh bless you, look at this state here.
I know. Yeah.
I'll go and bring you that bath.
I'm grumpy. Really grumpy.
You look it.
I know.
Oh dear God.
Mandy's actually done quite a good job of lime mortaring this wall, and it's actually quite flat. But let's call them, I don't know, nuggets of mortar, still sort of like proud on the wall. So what I've got is a big chunk of, I don't know, 1.5-inch angle iron, and what I'm going to do is just basically run it over the surface of the wall. It's not a good noise, is it? But just going to run it over the surface of the wall like that, and it's just going to skim off the little nuggets which are sort of sitting proud, and it's just going to make it a lot easier for when I sort of like run the final coat of plaster over, so you don't get any sort of like things sticking through the plaster basically. And when you sort of like run your trowel over the wall, if you get any sort of those nuggets, they really do make a mess of your plaster, and they leave all these sort of like lines like dragging through. And it's a real pain, I tell you. You almost have to throw a whole sort of like batch of plaster away. So yeah, I just went down in the cave and got this big chunk of angle iron, and it saves an awful lot of time really. So yeah, little tip for you. We've still got a few of these brown patches on the mortar, and this is where the smoke residue has been leaching through the wall and leaving sort of these brown stains coming through the wall. And we reckon when we put the white plaster on the top, it's probably going to come through that as well. So I've got some PVA mix. I don't know what the dilution strength is. We probably about 1 to 3. I just got a big dollop of PVA and mix it up. We're going to put this over the top, and hopefully the idea is once it's got a good old soaking of this on top, I'm going to put several coats of it on and really let it soak in. The idea is that there's another slight patch of it there actually. The idea is that's going to stop it from coming through, I hope. Yeah, I'm going to do that bit as well. And the fun bit is I get to peel the PVA off my fingers.
Like a 4-year-old.
Like a 4-year-old, it's like being at the school. Everyone loves a bit of PVA peeling, don't they?
Oh yeah, can I have some?
We might be hanging wallpaper on this wall, so we need to get it dead flat, and I think I can probably almost get a little finger behind this bit of angle iron. So yeah, I might have a bit more plastering to do to get this dead flat. That's the first coat of plaster finally completed on the walls. The linseed oil is drying on the beams, so I think we're actually getting somewhere with this room at last.
So that's another productive week.
Yeah, quite productive. I've done most of the wall.
Yeah.
There's just a little patch in the corner I've got to finish off because basically I'm down to one arm now. And knacking my body in a little bit, but we're thinking of going paint shopping. Ooh, how exciting is that? So yeah, we're getting quite close. I've got to finish the faux bois panelling around the bottom of the room. We've got to clean up the floor a little bit.
Got to finish cleaning the beams off and then paint the ceiling as well.
Got to hang the door.
Yeah.
But it's just little things now, so...
You say little things like it's going to take 3 seconds to
I
do.
know. Yeah, they always turn out to be, minor nightmares.
Yeah.
But
apart from that,
we're nearly there. So yeah. Oh,
I know,
I know.
exciting times.
Exciting times.
Mm.
And yeah, so
Yeah,
as usual, folks, give us a bit of the old like and subscribe.
it does like that.
I does like that, and leave a few comments. She
Yeah.
loves answering those.
Yeah, love reading those.
And
And we'll see you next time.
yeah, au revoir.
Au revoir.